Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at 30 and 60 degree angles. And to do this we're going to start with an equilateral triangle whose sides are all length 1. So remember, with the equilateral triangle all sides are the same length. So let's look at the one where these are all 1. Okay. So remember, we said there's a relationship between the measure of an angle and the length of its opposite side. So the bigger the angle, the longer the opposite side. Well, if all these sides are the same, that means all these angles must also be the same. And there's 180 degrees in the triangle, so 180 degrees, 180 divided by 3 is 60. So each of these angles is 60 degrees. Now, if we were to draw a perpendicular bisector and split this triangle in half, then, oops. Then we would not only intersect to get 2 right angles down here, which are 90 degrees, we'd also split this angle in half, so these would both be 30 degree angles. Okay, so there's a 30, 60, 90. Also, if this length was 1, and this one down here, if we split in half, would be 1/2. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to find this length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of rotate this triangle and place it in the unit circle. Let's go on the next page for that. Let's go ahead and draw a circle. Well, first let me just draw the triangle. So, alright, so let's say we had triangle here. Okay, down here is our 90 degree angle. This was our 1/2. This was our 30 degree angle. Okay. This was our hypotenuse of 1. So we're looking for our x here. So remember, we can solve a triangle. So this angle is 60 up here as well. So we're going to look at the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so our hypotenuse, which is our longest side, is across from our right angle, which is also 1 here because it's the radius. So we'll have 1 squared equals, and we have x squared plus 1/2 squared. Okay, so 1 squared is just 1, x squared, and then if we take 1/2 squared, we square the numerator and we square the denominator, we get 1/4. If we were to subtract 1/4 from both sides and then flip it around, we'd have x squared equals, well, 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4. Okay, and then we can go ahead and take the square root of both sides, leaving us with x equals square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our unit circle, see how this all fits in. Just draw a circle. I'll make it kind of big. Oh, that's a little too big. All right, let's bring it down here. I'll go ahead and put our x and y axis in. That's about the center here. Okay. And then let's change our color. Let's say we look at our 30 degree angle. All right, so let's recall that this length is 1. This is 1/2, which is our y, and this is square root of 3 over 2, which is our x. So this point up here is x comma y, which is square root of 3 over 2 comma 1/2. All right. And then if we were, so this is when we had the 30 degree angle here. But if I changed it, so let's do a different color. Let's do purple. So now if I change it, So we have a 60-degree angle. We're just going to flip this triangle around. So our XY now, let me erase this here. There we go. So now our XY for this point would be 1/2 comma √3 over 2. All right, and remember from earlier, we had our 45-degree, and this was √2 over 2, and √2 over 2. So x and y were the same. And then we had the points down here, which were 1, 0, and the point up here, which is 0, 1. Okay, so we got 1/4 of this unit circle here, and remember that we do a reflection of all these triangles, so we're going to get these same numbers. It's just the signs are going to be different. So let's just recall that if we are in the Cartesian plane and we have 4 quadrants, okay, so up here in the first quadrant, it's going to be positive and positive. Okay. If we are in the second quadrant, it's going to be negative and positive. Okay. We are in the third quadrant, it's going to be negative and negative. And if we are in the, let's put these in here, okay. And if we are in the fourth quadrant, it's going to be positive and negative. So these are the signs for the x and y coordinates in these quadrants. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. We'll continue this in the next lesson.